हरे कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु आभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवयां भगवत्य उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैस्तिकी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनेयशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा गदामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पदारुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So, reading from Bhagavdam, 6th canto, 5th chapter, sloka number 9. Okay, 9, 10 I will recite. 11th I think I humbly request everyone to do because the translation was only two-liner. Okay, Hare Krishna. कथं स्वापितुर् आदेशम् अविद्वांसो विपश्चितः अनुरूपम् अविज्ञाय अहो सर्गं करिष्यतः। कथं how swapituh of your own father, adesham the order, avidvamshah ignorant, vipaschitah who knows everything, anurupam suitable for you, avignaya without knowing, aho alas sargam the creation, karishyatah you will perform. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Alas, your father is omniscient, but you don't know his actual order. Without knowing the actual purpose of your father, how will you create progeny? Shishuka uvacha tan nishyam yatha haryashva autpattika manishaya vacha kutam tu devarshah swayam vimam rishur diya. Shri Shuka Uvacha, Srila Shukadeva Goswami said that Nisamya, hearing, Atha, thereafter, Haryashavaha, all the sons of Prajapati Daksha, Outpatika, naturally awakened, Manishaya, by possessing the power to consider, Vachaha, of the speech, Kutam, the enigma, too, but Devarsheha, of Narada Muni, Swayam themselves, Vimam Shuha, reflected upon Diya with full intelligence. Translation. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, hearing these enigmatic words of Narada Muni, the Haryasvash considered them with their natural intelligence without help from others. 11th slokam, I am really requested to recite. Venkata Narasimha Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Bhukshetram jivasanyam yadanadi nizabandhanam adruštva tasya nirvanam kim asat karma bhi bhavet. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Madhumai Krishna Kant Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhukshetram jivasamyam yadanadi nijabandhanam adruštva tasya nirvanam kim asat karma bhir bhavet. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Prana Nandini Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी प्रणाम माताजी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय बहुक्षेत्रं जीवसंज्ञं यदनादि निजबन्धनम् अदृष्टा तस्य निर्वाणं किम् असत्कर्मभिर्भवेत्. हरे कृष्ण माताजी. थैंक यू माताजी.
Madhu Soni Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, दंडवत प्रणाम माताजी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। भूक्षेत्रं जीवसंज्ञं यज्ञादि निजबन्धनम् अदृष्ट्वा तस्य निर्वाणं किम असत्कर्मभिः भवेत्। थैंक यू माताजी। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Usha Dayavati Mataji.
कृष्ण माताजी, प्रणाम माताजी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। भूक्षेत्रं जीव संयम्यं यत् अनादि निज बंधनम् दृष्ट्वा तस्य निर्वाणं किम सत्कर्म भी भवेत्। थैंक यू माताजी। हरे कृष्ण।
Subara Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु माताजी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Dandavat Pranams Prabhuji.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। भूक्षेत्रं जीवसंगम यदनादिजिन्निजबन्धनम् अदृष्ट्वा तस्य निर्वाणं किमसत्कर्मभिर्भवेत्। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Revati Ratnani Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, प्रणाम माताजी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। भूक्षेत्रं जीवसमन्यं यत् अनादि निजबन्धनम् अदृष्टावा तस्य निर्वाणं किम् असत्कर्मभिर्भवेत्। हरे कृष्ण माताजी। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you, Mataji. Leena Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Dandavat.
भूक्षेत्रं जीवसंज्ञं यत् अनादि निजबन्धनम् अदृष्ट्वा तस्य निर्वाणं किम् असत्कर्मभिर्भवेत्। थैंक यू माताजी। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Bhushetram Jiva Samyam Yad Anadi Nijabandhanam Adrishtva Tasya Nirvanam Kim Ashat Karma Bir Bhavet. Synonyms. Bhu, the earth. Kshetram, the field of activities. Jiva Samya, Samjnanam, Jnanam, the designation of the spiritual living being who is bound by different results of activity, yet which anadi, existing since time immemorial, nija bandhanam, causing his own bondage, adrishtva, without seeing, tasya, of this, nirvanam, the cessation, kim, what benefit, asat karma bihi, with temporary fruitive activities, bhavet, there can be. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The Hariyesh was understood the meaning of Narada's verse as follows. The word Buhu, the earth, refers to the field of activities. The material body, which is the result of the living being's actions, is his field of activities, and it gives him false designations. Since time immemorial, he has received various types of material bodies, which are the roots of bondage to the material world. If one foolishly engages in temporary fruitive activities and does not look towards the cessation of his bondage, what will be the benefit of his actions? So that's how the Prajapati sons, so Hariyesh Vashas, they have understood. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Narada Muni spoke to the Hariyesh Vasas, the sons of Prajapati Daksha, about 10 allegorical subjects: the king, the kingdom, the river, the house, the physical elements, and so forth. After considering these by themselves, the Haryashvas could understand that the living entity engaged in his body seeks happiness, but takes no interest in how to become free from this engagement. This is a very important verse since all the living entities in the material world are very active, having obtained their particular types of bodies. A man works all the day and night for sense gratification, and animals like hawks and dogs also work for sense gratification all day and night. Birds, beasts, and all other conditioned living entities engage in various activities without knowledge of the soul encaged within the body. Especially in the human form of body, one's duty is to act in such a way that he can release himself from his engagement, but without the instructions of Narada or his representative in the disciplic succession, people blindly engage in bodily activities to enjoy Maya Sukha, flickering temporary happiness. They do not know how to become free from their material engagement. Rishabhadeva therefore said that such activity is not at all good, since it engages the soul again and again in a body subjected to the threefold miseries of the material condition. The Haryashvas, the sons of Prajapati Daksha, could immediately understand the purport of Narada's instructions. Our Krishna conscious movement is especially meant for such enlightenment. We are trying to enlighten humanity so that people may come to the understanding that they should work hard in tapasya for self-realization and freedom from the continuous bondage of birth, death, old age, and disease in one body after another. Maya, however, is very strong. She is expert in putting impediments in the way of this understanding. Therefore, sometimes one comes to the Krishna conscious movement, but again falls into the clutches of Maya, not understanding the importance of this movement. Very wonderfully said, purport actually. So, how actually even we coming to the Krishna conscious movement, it doesn't ensure that 100% will be elevated and without understanding what actions we have to perform. So that is very, very important. How we are performing the actions, what actions we need to perform, what type of action we should certainly avoid. All those things one must know. So from the translation, so I think till now whatever we have read, can someone brief about that? So this chapter tells about the Prajapati begetting the children, and then Narada Muni guiding the sons of Prajapati in the right path, wherein Daksha getting anger, because first time he, for the 10,000 that is sons, Narada Muni, actually they are called as the Haryashvasa, correct now? And second time also he will be creating the progeny, Daksha, that is around 1,000 sons. For them also Narada Maharishi will be guiding the same way, and then Daksha getting anger, and then he curses so that he should be always going to the planets. He won't be staying in the one position. And Narada Maharishi also accept that curse. So here, so what is the main aim behind Narada Maharishi's intention of instructing the sons of Daksha? Why he is instructing? Can anyone speak? Come forward and speak about that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Narada Muni wants that all the sons of Daksha should not be engaged in material creation only, but go for spiritual realization.
Yes.
For that's also that actually is the purpose of life, ultimate goal of life.
Yes.
Therefore, he wants them to go in that way, Mataji.
Yes.
Hare
Actually,
Krishna.
they went to do tapasya, correct now? So they were doing austerities, but as per the instruction by their father, Prajapati Daksha, they want to create progeny from them also. So for that purpose they are doing. So here they are, whatever the austerities they are doing, it should be it should go in a right way. So even if they are just getting married and then begetting the children, means that is fine. But they are doing the austerities, and that austerities, any austerity we are doing, it should be upliftment of their own self actually. So if that purpose is not bad, and then only simply for the material fruitive actions, if you are doing that austerity, the purpose of the austerity is compromised. So that way, Narada Maharishi felt that these people, these kids are doing. That means the sons of Daksha are doing the austerities, but it is for the material. So that should be stopped, he felt, and then he was guiding the Haryeshwara for the 10,000 first time Daksha has created. Na? So the progeny. So those sons have been made into the, that is, he guided them for the upliftment actually to go back to the Godhead. So here, the whatever the intention Prajapati was doing, that was the purpose was not met. So second time also he will be doing, that also we will be studying in the upcoming slokas. And that time again Narada Maharishi is going to guide the same thing, and then he will get curse actually from Daksha. So Haryeshwara understood the meaning of Narada's words as follows. So the Buhu, that means here I think we should recollect the Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yogam, the chapter. Actually the field of activities. So this earth is called as the field of activities, where all living entities are surviving and they are performing their actions. So as a universal, but each and every living entity also has been embodied in the embodied soul is there in the material body of the this world. Actually, the living entities are embodied in the material body. So this body is also called as the field of activities. Whereas the Supreme Person, he being the Kshetrajna for all the living entities, whereas he knows every field, whereas the soul who is residing in this heart knows only about his own field. So that's the thing we have to understand here. The material body, which is the result of living being's action. What is the living being action he is performing? Why he has come here? He or she want to lord it over the material nature. So that's the reason by forgetting that happened, because we forget Krishna. So the moment we forget Krishna and we want to lord it over this nature, we are coming back to this world, and we have been put here. This is field of activities. So we'll be residing in the material body, and then we'll be performing the action actually. And gives him the false designation. So what is the false designation here? Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here that is as per the translation. Actually, we are thinking we are the doer. So we are the we are the performer, we are the enjoyer. Everything we think we are. Not like a karmanya ve adhikaraste ma karma phaleshu kadachanaha. So we are not thinking we are only the instrument, and then all actions, whatever we are performing as per the will of the Lord, and He is the supreme enjoyer. That we are forgetting. So that's the reason we are coming here and we take the false designation. That means we are the doer. So that's how we are getting bonded to so many things here: power, position, so authority. So everyone wants to become authority. Everyone wants to dictate things. That's how the living entity is. So since time immemorial. So like how actually after annihilation, the Supreme Lord only is alone here. And we are all part and parcel of Him. When the time of creation, we are also being there from the time immemorial. He has received various type of material bodies. So when creation happens, we get the material body, and then as per our lifespan, we live here, and again we get ready for another material body to receive based on our karmic reaction, and whatever the pending things we are having, that is as per the what is that in the shuttle body, whatever we have pending desires and all. So we get the body, like how actually Jada Bharata received, that is Bharata Maharaja received the dear body, like that. So whatever the shuttle body carries over along with the Jiva, and then whatever the karmas they have spent from the previous janmas and including the current, everything. So they will get accumulated, and a particular type of body, this field of activities, living entity will be receiving. So that is the root of bondage. So as long as we are always inclined towards the material benefit here, the bondage becomes strong, the roots become strong right now. So in 15th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Urdhva Moolam, correct na? So we have to, that is, these roots, we have to actually, that we have to remove. That means from the root level, we have to remove this material bondage. So if one engages in the spiritual, that is, or the devotional service, automatically the upliftment of the jiva will happen. That means getting the, that is, cutting off the roots of bondage with a strong, that is, renunciation, correct na? So detachment, we need to cut that actually. So by performing the devotion service, it will be very easily, it will get into that mode. So if one foolishly engages, if one misses that part, obviously he'll be continuing in the same old path for the material benefit, material authority, material position, material power, all those things. Even though one engages either in the material activity or in the spiritual activity, the ultimate goal will be, the aim will be what? For the material benefit. So we want to lord it over. So and again we'll be coming back, taking the temporary bodies here, and then after leaving the body, getting into the another body. If one foolishly engages in the temporary fruitive activities and does not look towards the cessation, that is to cut that bondage, what is the benefit of his actions? The ultimate benefit should be the eternal benefit, but we always work towards the temporary benefit. So that's why we are again and again coming back. So Narada Muni spoke to the Haryashvas, the sons of Prajapati Daksha, about the 10 allegorical subjects actually. So the king, kingdom, river, house, the physical element, and henceforth, that means the related to this earth, whatever the things, here the ruling of the king happens and there will be a kingdom, and then the natural things like Adi Atmika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Devika. So here what is the jiva is doing, what this shuttle body, gross body, all those things, and then how we are getting bonded to the material things and how we are getting bonded to the spiritual, how we have to get to bond to that. Our desires have to be moved to the, what is that, spiritual things. He spoke about that. He spoke about the discrimination, how actually, because in fact they were doing the tapas, but what they are doing, they are going to make the bondage. So they are going to beget the children. For that purpose they are doing. And then the ultimate goal, the intention of doing the tapas should be to reach the lotus feet of the Lord. So instead of that, they are making for the begetting the children. So he has spoken about what is the thing we are doing here, and then how actually the material world and the spiritual world happens actually. So after considering these by themselves, after hearing from Narada Maharishi, so they got enlightened, and then Haryashvasa could understand that the living entity engaged in this body seeks happiness. Ultimate goal, every jiva seeks happiness, either it in the material platform or the spiritual platform. But spiritual platform will ensure that they will reach the Godhead. If they are seeking, there the happiness will be for the Supreme. So they will be seeking happiness so that the Supreme Enjoyer can seek that happiness. So the goal will be changed. Whereas in the material platform, the jiva will be actually checking in for the happiness for one's own self on the material platform, but takes no interest in how to become free from this. We are in one jail kind of thing. This material world itself is a jail. So there are, that means we can freely roam around in this jail only. Right now, in practical also, we can see the government putting a culprit in a jail. So he can happily roam around inside the prison, but he cannot get outside. Similar way only, this material world is also a bigger jail. And we can also roam around here and have the temporary happiness where we are aiming something we want to achieve, and then once we achieve the material benefit, we'll feel so happy. But that is a temporary happiness. For some period we'll be able to, or some duration itself also we'll be enjoying. And after some time, we cannot rejoice the same intense also. That also we are able to analyze. So like that, A particular body we are getting as per the karmic reactions, as per the desires. From one body to another body, this jiva is getting transmigration. All those things we have studied in Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter also. So how we are getting a particular type of body also. A man works all the day and night. Yes, we do the hard working for the economic development. But ultimately, whatever we are earning, we are actually utilizing for the sense gratification. That means to make, that is for the pleasure of one's own senses only. Instead of making the, that is, senses of the Supreme Lord as enjoyment mode, we are actually enjoying. So that's the goal is changed here. So if your goal is towards the Supreme, then ultimately we also will have that inner peace at the end of the day. Whereas if you are only taking for the peace for one's own self, that means enjoyment for one's own self, for a self-enjoyment, obviously the outcome of whatever actions we have performed, it may be they may be pious or impious deeds actually will be getting. So that is, a man works all the day and night for sense gratification. If the man is not towards inclination towards the spiritual thing, obviously he'll be totally on the material platform, and whatever actions he performs, he always thinks that he is the doer and then he's bound to the action. So there is no difference between the animals and the human when we are putting action on the material platform, because dogs and hogs are also doing some work for their own sense gratification. So birds, beasts, and all other conditioned living entity, everyone, every small living entity also has been engaged here. So there is nothing. So engage. We are always engaging in some activities without the true knowledge. So that means who am I and what is my relation with this body, and then how I come here, and then what should be the path I should take, and then who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and what is the relationship between this Jiva and the Paramatma. So if one is not having such a knowledge, he will be simply engaged here. Within this material world, he'll be again and again, he'll be coming back, especially in the human form of the body. So one's duty is to act in such a way that he can release himself from this engagement. The ultimate upliftment is that, so one should engage in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord, which will help us to get out of the, that is few characters like Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moga, Mada, Maksharam. So there is no guarantee a person who is engaged in the initial phase of the without realization phase, a person who is engaged in the spiritual activity also, there is no guarantee they would have come out of the enviousness. It will be there. Kama will be there. Krodha will be there. Everything will be there. These 6 things, they have to get purified if they are able to engage themselves in the devotional service of the Lord without any ultimate motive. That is ayatuki aprahatyata. So you should have that uninterrupted and then unmotivated. That means for some outcome or with some expectations. So the results of whatever actions we are performing, one should not do that. So if they are engaged, automatically they are getting bondage. So if a person realizes that, if a living entity realizes that, obviously he is working towards the cessation of the bondage. If a person is not realizing that, obviously he is working on the material platform, either spiritually is engaged or materially is engaged, he will be getting into the bondage only. Until he realizes what action he has to perform in whatever way as per the scriptural injunctions. So especially in the human form of body, one's duty is to act in such a way that he can release himself from the engagement, but we need to follow the Guru Parambara. So the enlightenment from the Guru is very, very important. For that, a disciple should be attentive, submissive, and then he is to be obedient. And he should never disobey the advice or the whatever the jnana he has received from the Guru. So one should take that as a word of highest authority and he should act. So how our Acharya has done, by hearing from his guru, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So he took, and then he was able to fulfill the desire, fulfill the wish of his Guru Maharaj. So like that, one should always obey the whatever the advice given by his Guru. So here, Narada Maharishi, without the instruction of Narada Maharishi, Haryashvasas wouldn't have completed the devotional service in a right way. So otherwise, the intention will be for begetting the children. So here, or his representative, that means the disciplic succession. So our parampara is from Brahma to Narada, Narada to Vyasadeva, Vyasadeva to Sukadeva Goswami, like that. So our last Acharya being our Srila Prabhupada. So we fall under the disciplic succession, and one must follow the instructions given by our founder Acharya. So without that, people blindly engage in bodily activities to enjoy Maya Sukha. That means the temporary. Maya means it's a illusion wherein we feel that we are actually enjoying, but internally, that means in truth, we are actually making the bondage. We are making a strong bondage to the material world. So temporary happiness. They do not know how to become free from their material engagement. So engagement. This is how the materialistic person will work, and they will not understand that they are in the engage also. Shabadeva actually was instructing his sons in the 5th chapter we have already read. So such activity is not at all good for the upliftment of the human. So since it engages the soul again and again to take back one body, so another body, this transmigration will be continuing. And then it is because of what? This material world being ruled by the through three gunas, correct na? Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas. And every, that is each and every guna has the expectation also. When there is an expectation, automatically it leads to the bondage. So one should perform the devotional service without any expectation. So just surrender and perform. So leave to the lotus feet of the Lord and perform the action. The Haryashvas, the sons of Prajapati Daksha, could immediately understand the purport of Narada's instructions. Our Krishna conscious movement also is placed on the same philosophy. So let us follow that, our Acharya's instructions, and get elevated in the spiritual path. We are trying to enlighten humanity. That's why Srila Prabhupada, all over the world, when he was there, in the last 12 years of his life, he has established 108 temples. But before that, he has done preaching all over the world. So that was the first goal, because that is the motto of this organization. Not only that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed to give the Sankirtana to the entire world. So same thing has been instructed by his guru, and then Srila Prabhupada has also followed the same thing. So we also should follow the same footprints of the great Acharya. So, and second option is printing books. These two are the things that he has got instructed, and then Srila Prabhupada has done the great, that is work, actually establishing this movement all over the world is not an easy thing. We are also finding difficult, if I'm right. If a single person is Krishna conscious in a family, convincing other members of the family is really challenging. And it creates more obstacles also for us to continue in a smoother way. So this much he was able to do means so much Srila Prabhupada has struggled for that. So one should utilize this opportunity, reading Srila Prabhupada's books daily, and then getting enlightened, and then doing chanting, because he has given 16 rounds and following 4 regulations. So he has taken that is, he has given that risk for us actually, that we should tell, because we are not that attentive in chanting most of the times, and then we strive to become attentive. So let us take this opportunity and pray to Srila Prabhupada to get his blessings, to do attentive chanting, read his books. So by the mercy of the great Acharya, one will be able to engage in the devotional service without any interruption. So here we are trying to enlighten humanity so that people, because ISKCON is doing this seva, because so many years it's doing in a very good way, so that people will may come to the understanding that they should work hard in tapasya. So tapasya means following consistently. Whatever austerities we are following, that should be consistent. That becomes tapasya. So that leads to the self-realization of oneself. So then it will, if oneself is able to do this type of, that means tapasya means he will get free from the bondage. So we are having 4 diseases now. 4 diseases. That is, birth is a disease. If you are born, death is also a disease. In between the lifetime, we'll be undergoing either disease, that is impediments related to the old age and disease. All those things we have to pass through. And even from one body to another body also, the same cycle will be happening. So we have to, somewhere we have to stop this process, because that is the process relating to the Maya. If we are following the Maya and if we are following the prey to the Maya, obviously we'll be coming back again. Whereas if you are understanding who am I, obviously we'll be able to render the service to the Lord and get disconnected from this cycle of birth and death. Therefore, sometimes one comes to Krishna conscious movement. This very truthful word actually, in every organization also of ISKCON actually. So many people will be joining and some people will be leaving also the movement. So this happens because they again fall into the clutches of Maya. So without understanding the importance of this movement, very wonderfully said, this is a very powerful word. So the ultimate motive of this movement is to make a person to the Krishna conscious. So if that motive is not met, obviously the person will be falling down, whether he has taken Diksha or not. But obviously the intention is not met, means that is a fall down of the living entity. So one should be very careful in guarding them, avoiding the Vaishnava aparadas. Whether the person may be a Kanishta Adhikari also, but still we should consider, if they have joined the movement, we should never get inclined in hurting them in any way. And even though whether we are right or wrong, that is secondary, but we should not disturb others. We should not pull down others. So without that either it is intentional or unintentional also, we need to be very careful with respect to the body, mind and words. So these 3 things we need to be very, very careful. What way we are, whatever actions performed by our body is having impact to the other devotees, whatever mind setup we are having, and with that whatever way we are communicating to others, in what way it is impacting other devotees, whatever words we communicate others, in what way it is getting impact to the others, that is very, very important. Before thinking about ourselves, what benefit we are going to gain, we should think about other people's benefit first. Even though we are not going to give benefit to them, we should not disturb them. That is very important. So unnecessarily we are getting into the aparadas, Vaishnava aparadas. So that will make us to fall down ultimately. So we should guard ourselves for that. For this last line, it's a wonderful realization actually. This is what making me to feel. And then with this I conclude today's session. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So anyone would like to any reflection?